Today we are going to start our lesson with some review. We are going to be reviewing phonetic skill 1 through 4 and how we add suffixes onto each of those before we start in with our new instruction. So the first phonetic skill that we are going to review is going to be phonetic skill 1. So phonetic skill 1 tells us that when a vowel is followed by a single guardian consonant, the vowel is short. So how do you add suffixes ing, ed, or est to phonetic skill 1 words? So I need to think about that for a second. If you said you double the final consonant and add the suffix, you are absolutely right. So an example of this would be the word run. So if I would want to turn the word run into running, I would simply double my final consonant and add ing. So the next piece of our review is going to be phonetic skill 2. So phonetic skill 2 tells us that when a vowel is followed by 2 guardian consonants, the vowel is going to be short. So we're going to think again about this, what we can remember. How do you add the suffixes ing, ed, or est to phonetic skill 2 words? So think about that. Give it some thought. If you said you just add the suffix, then you were totally right. So an example of this would be the word talk. And if we wanted to say talking, we would just simply throw ing onto the end of that. So remember, when we're talking about suffixes, we're always underlining our suffixes when we add those to our words. The next thing that we are going to review is going to be, you guessed it, phonetic skill 3. So phonetic skill 3 tells us that when a vowel stands alone, the vowel is going to be long. So how do you add suffixes ing, ed, or est to phonetic skill 3 words? It's the same as the phonetic skill 2 rule, so we are just going to add our suffix on the end. So we're actually going to use that word from up top as our example. So the word go, we would simply just add ing on the end and have that say going. And our last piece for review today is phonetic skill 4. Phonetic skill 4 tells us that silent E makes the first vowel sound long. So if there's an E at the end of our word, it typically is silent and it is going to make our first vowel sound long. So how would we add the suffixes ing, ed, or est to phonetic skill 4 words? So think about that for a minute. Think way back to when we were at school and see if you can remember what we need to do. So what we're going to do is we are actually going to drop the silent E and then add the suffix. So an example of this would be like the word bake. So if we have the word bake and we want it to say baking, then we are going to drop our E and we are just going to add our suffix. Remember, anytime we're adding suffixes and we are proving words that have suffixes, we are going to underline that suffix. All right, so in a word that follows phonetic skill 4, the 2 vowels are separated by a consonant. So, such as the words hope or the words ride. In this lesson today, lesson 50, covering phonetic skill 5, we are going to learn about words that have 2 vowels that are not separated by a consonant. So when vowels stand next to each other, they are adjacent. When vowels are adjacent, that means they're next to each other. The second vowel is going to be silent and the first vowel is going to be long. The adjacent vowels are going to be in combinations such as AI, AY, EA, EE, OA, OE, UI, UE, and IE. So the very first step, just like anytime we ever mark a word, we are going to mark an X under each of our vowels. So once we mark an X under each of our vowels, then we're going to come up and around our racetrack and we are going to mark our A silent because that's our second vowel. And then we're going to mark our first vowel, which is O. We're going to mark that long. Great job. So then we're going to move on. We're going to look at another word that follows phonetic skill 5. So when we look at this word, This one is a little bit different because we have some extra things to mark. So first step, we are going to mark our vowels with an X. Then we notice that we have an ST blend at the end of our word. So after we have marked everything we can, go up around the top, mark our A, which is our second vowel. I'm going to mark that silent, and mark our first vowel long. And this is the word feast. Our next word we're going to cover is this one. So we are going to go underneath the word, mark both vowels, come up around our racetrack, mark our second vowel silent and our first vowel long. And this is the word soap. This is the last word for this practice, getting us started. So we are going to mark under our word, and the very first thing you should see is that CR blend at the beginning. So we are going to mark our blend. We are going to mark both our vowels. We are going to come up around our racetrack, mark our A silent, mark our E long, and this is the word cream. I'm going to reveal some example words, and we're going to focus on pronouncing the vowels as we say these words. So our first word is the word aid. Then we have the word rain, eat, read, oat, toast, fruit, suit. So we usually see these combinations at the end of words, but we could also see EE in the middle of a word. So I'm going to reveal some example words, and we are going to focus on pronouncing the vowels as you say these words with me, okay? Say, pay, see, feet, toe, dough, blue, glue, pie, tie. Fantastic. So now we're going to move into dictation. So remember, it helps our brains to remember things better when we stand up and we do the movements for dictation. If you have a paper and a pencil or anything else that you would like to write on to do dictation and do this practice with me, now is the time to pause the video and go ahead and get those things. All right, so now we're ready for dictation. So I'm standing up. I'm going to do this just like we do in class. I'm going to say the word. I am going to throw it to you. I will then listen really hard through the computer twice for you to say it to me, and then I will write it on the whiteboard that you guys can see. So the very first thing that we're going to write, we are going to write the word. We are going to write B-E-A-T. B-E-A-T. So go ahead and write that on your whiteboard. So we're going to write B-E-A-T. And I know I said whiteboard, but you guys are writing on papers or whatever it is that you guys are using to write. So we are going to mark this just like we went over in the lesson. So what we're going to do is we are going to go underneath our word from left to right. We are going to mark both vowels. We are going to come up around our racetrack. Our second vowel is silent, and our first vowel is long, and this is the word beat. He beat me at the race. Beat. Okay, the next word that we are going to do is going to be, so get ready to receive the word. The next word is the word claim, claim. I'm here to claim my prize. Claim. So again, on our whiteboard, we are going to write our word. I have an L blend here at the beginning. I'm going to mark both my vowels. And I'm going to come up around. My second vowel is silent. My first vowel is long. We're going to point to the word. We're going to read it. The word is claim. All right, the next word. The next word we're going to do is the word heat, heat. It was cold, so I turned up the heat, heat. So we're going to go ahead and write that on whatever we're using to write on: paper, pencil, whiteboard. Maybe you got like a cool like magnet board you can write on, whatever that looks like for you. We're going to write the word heat. We're going to mark both of our vowels. And then we're going to come up and around. And our second vowel is silent. Our first vowel is long. We are going to point and we are going to read, and the word is heat. All right. The next one that we are going to look at, we are going to write the word. We are going to write the word juice, juice. Cranberry is my favorite type of juice. So we're going to write the word juice. Now this, trying to trick you guys a little bit, this has something that we haven't talked about in a while. So we're going to write juice. Some of you can probably already see what it is. So we are going to mark our vowels. I have a special vowel here at the end. We know if there's an E at the end, then it is silent, but CE is a rainbow S. So we need to remember to mark that. Our second vowel is silent. Our first vowel is long, and this is the word, I'm gonna point, I'm gonna read, and it's the word juice. Fantastic. All right, we're gonna try this one that's a little bit silly. The next word we're gonna write is going to be the word eel, 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 eel. George Washington loved to eat eel pie. Do you remember from one of the articles from my class? So eel is spelled like this. And we're going to mark both our vowels, come up and around. Second one is silent, first one is long. We're going to point, read, the word is eel. Fantastic. All right, the last one that we are going to do for dictation today is going to be the word glue, glue. Be careful when you use the glue, glue. So we are going to write that. I see that I have an L blend here at the beginning. I have my vowels. I'm going to come up and around. This vowel is, my second one is silent. My first one is long. We're going to point, read, the word is glue. Fantastic. You guys can go ahead and erase your boards or put your papers away, and we're going to get ready for our final activity for this lesson. We're going to read through a transfer card together. All right, the last thing that we are going to do today, we are going to go through a transfer card so that we can practice the skills that we just learned. So we are going to go ahead and we're going to read these words. You're going to read with me as I point to each word. Make sure that you're reading these out loud so that we can make sure that we're practicing these skills. So we're going to start here and we're going to go down each of the columns, okay? So we have boat, suit, east, mail, leaf, steam, brain, neat, street, tie, cream, beach, train, toe, sea, queen, squeal, float, green, sea. Fantastic. And then the next part that we're going to do is we're going to read these sentences. So we're going to start here. The foam on the sea was green. The leaf in the street will float down the drain. We will see what the beach is like on the East Coast. Fantastic job on lesson 50 today, you guys. I will see you again in these videos for the next lesson that we cover. So I hope that you enjoyed this and I hope you learned something new. And so now you can go and complete your Phonetic Skill 5 checkup on Reading Horizons Online. Thanks so much.